Abba and Preach. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, we're recording?
Yeah, we are recording now.
So we're...
You want to go?
No, you started from here.
All right, so this is an Abba and Preach type setup. We're not trying to rip them off.
No.
I promise.
We're just going to be standing here looking at a phone and...
doing everything that they do.
Exactly, essentially.
But it's only as a starting point to when we figure out a better way or a more individualistic way of doing things.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I like how that sounds.
We're going to rip them off for now, fully knowing that we're ripping them off. It's
Right.
not something that it's not a lazy
It's
thing.
out of respect.
It's
you know?
out of
what
respect.
We like what they do. You know, they're pretty profitable doing it.
Yeah.
We're just trying to figure out our way up. And
Yeah. Plus the lighting in here is nice in the background.
the lighting in
you know.
here is pretty nice.
It just
pretty
makes
nice.
sense to do this.
The only thing we don't have is a creaking floor, but you know what?
Yeah, they be creaking on that floor.
They do be creaking on that.
They be tweaking on the creaking floor.
We also borrowed our name from Drake and Josh, but his name is not Drake, so
It's Jake and Josh, yeah.
yeah. So you know.
So we want to get into this video.
Yeah.
Adam's wife, did you see it? So I sent you some videos. You saw the situation. Adam's wife is getting piped on camera.
You guys, my husband finally gave me my wedding gift, and he's here right now.
Congratulations.
And the entire internet's making a big stink out of it. A big hullabaloo, if you will.
So let me ask you this now.
Before we watch anything, of course.
Before we watch anything, right? Are you letting your significant other get piped?
No, but I don't like that the entire internet's kind of take on this is like, couldn't have been me. that's what boils down to. Couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me.
No, you didn't.
Couldn't have been me. I don't like that. I think that's a weak argument. And I think we on this channel like to engage things a little bit more carefully and with a little bit more depth to them. So I personally can't say, like, I could say couldn't be me, because it also couldn't be me. I wouldn't want my wife getting piped on camera.
Okay.
But I think if Adam's okay with it, and I think clearly Lena's okay with it. I mean, she's more than okay with it.
Right.
Then I don't understand what the issue is, right? I kind of think it's one of those cases where the internet kind of has a weak argument, but everyone's just on the same page, because it is kind of an affront to a lot of guys' masculinity. Is saying like and I can see that.
Yeah, but at the same time, masculinity these days is decided at the drop of a hat with a lot of different things, right?
For sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we were talking about the other day about a lot of things being a social construct. Masculinity has become a social construct in that sense.
It shouldn't even be a masculinity thing. I don't even think we should be viewing this under the auspices of masculinity. I think it should be like a preference thing. Some guys like seeing their wives get piped on camera. Some guys find that entertaining and interesting and hot. I personally don't. But this guy, like, I saw videos, people being like, "Adam's over. This is the end of No Jumper." And Adam 22 is like, I don't think so. They literally have a podcast where they interview porn stars and then Adam pipes them. So it's like the exact opposite also happens. Like Adam's piped. I don't think he's piped women without Lena there,
without his wife's consent.
which is where I think a lot of people take issue with it. But I think
It's definitely. So from what I understand, right?
Yeah.
You know, from an outside perspective, sure. Like you can look into it and you can be like, listen. Everything that the media is saying right now, or the people around the world are saying, like, yo, man, this guy is a cuck, he's this, he's that, no, he's not manly,
Right.
All these different things.
Yo, it's bothering me. As a fan, I'm like, yo, please, just you're bouncing around, you're doing the fucking, yo. I see the media.
I agree with you with what you said. Every relationship is different, right? Their relationship has their own preferences. He married a woman who was, from what I understand, she was doing the only
Porn.
She was doing porn,
or corn. I think that's so you don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah.
We want to make money off the 5 people that are watching.
Yes. So,
Watch this blow up too.
for real.
She was doing that way before she met Adam. I think it was like it started for her in college. She was always a freak elite, which is again not a bad.
So here, listen, to each their own, right?
Right.
So here's the thing: she met Adam.
Yeah.
Adam met her.
Right.
They had a relationship. They decided to get married. So
Yeah.
Adam already knew
what he was getting into.
Exactly.
And he was okay with it.
And
he's still okay with it.
He's still okay with it,
right? With his wife getting piped.
You know, and they had their own rules when it was first set up. Like, you know, they're not doing nothing crazy, and it didn't seem like she was going out and doing what she did recently with any other guy that wasn't Adam.
Yeah.
You know, but Adam, and he's even said it himself even before the whole like what you said about him interviewing porn stars and then sleeping with them afterwards with his wife's consent.
Yeah.
Even when they first got together or whatnot, I heard Adam say something on a podcast he did where he was talking about how he had to sleep or go through a bunch of different women, and then he knew that Lena was the one. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember something about that? So all of that to say, like their relationship, like. They doing their own thing, right?
And I also think it's like, to your point, I don't mean to cut you off, this label that we put on Adam to say like cuck, I'm not saying we're putting, but the rest of the internet does, is assuming that he can't go out, because I feel like a lot of the onus gets put on cucks as being kind of these guys where it's like, all right, I watched my wife get piped down on camera. Usually it's the guys holding the camera, they pan down, you know, they're doing their thing, and it's like, that's because they're not sufficiently able to pleasure their wives, or like they don't have many other options. That's a lot of cuck things that I've seen, is like these guys are not traditionally the most attractive or the most, you know, appealing to women. But like Adam's a rich ass dude. He has his own media empire. I think to your point, Adam, if he wanted to, could easily, and I'm not saying that this is a moral thing, but like he could easily step out. He could easily go and hit up, I don't know, one of the porn stars that he's working with and be like, hey, let's do a solo scene. Right? And
he said that.
Yeah, and because he is, I'm not going to say he's a nice guy, I'm not going to say he's a good guy, because there's been certain things that have come out about him that we don't know, and I've never met the guy. Calling him a cuck, I don't think is 100% fair. I think it's more of a preference type of thing. But I wouldn't call him
especially, right, is if we're trying to be, like, equal about this.
Yeah.
You know, his wife has sat around and watched him sleep with other women while being married that he's interviewed, based on what you just said about the whole porn thing.
Bleep this in post group. Like, she's put his inside other women. Like, she's helped get his inside other. So it's like,
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure she was there,
and I didn't even know anything about that, but just goes to show how much, like, you know, the moment that she steps out and does something with another guy, like, you know, after he's been doing it with a bunch of different women, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's freaking out, like, oh, you're this and you're that. Like, bro, honestly, listen, from what I understand, they have their own relationship. They're happy with how they're doing things. And I watched his response to it. And he basically said something along the...
We could always watch it. We could always briefly check up on that too now.
Oh, yeah. You could,
yeah, but go ahead.
Sorry.
I'll pull it up, yeah.
I was just saying that from what I understand, Adam was stating that at first, like, he, you know, was looking at it, he was like, man, I don't want her to do it, you know, because of how the internet is going to react. But then he was like, I don't really care. You know, I don't want that to be a reason that I'm withholding her from doing what she wants to do.
Which is almost the most masculine Chad alpha thing you could do is, he did a podcast video on it, and then he brought up Whack 100, which was the funniest thing to me. Was Whack 100 just can't fathom the idea. like Whack was really having a tough time.
He's sitting there like,
he would be like, Adam, do you understand the gravity of letting your wife get piped by another man on camera?
I'm not gonna lie, the way how it wasn't even Whack, but so
Illuminati.
No. When she was doing, she was like, "Guess I'm recording with." Yeah. And then that guy just walked out in slow motion, just.
Yeah, he's what is his name? Jason Love.
I have no idea.
Shout out to the God.
You watch him, bro? You're a fan?
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I've been watching him since he was on the amateur scene.
No, word.
Since it was Snapchat videos.
You subscribe, bro?
Premium
Snapchat, dude?
Not premium.
Not premium?
But I watch his stories. No, it was mad funny the way he just popped out.
Yeah, word. Just walked out the background, bro. Just...
Dude, he's a certified talent for sure. But that's the thing, is he piped down Adam's way. And so I don't know if we want to watch. We've got 3 different videos, all with flagrant ass titles.
All right, bro, pick one, bro.
We could go Whack 100 first, because I feel like Whack surmises pretty well the internet's reaction to this. Like, Whack is a perfect, what's the word? Summarization? No, it can't be. Summary. Sorry about that.
I think Whack and Soul Illuminati do a great job.
Yeah, of kind of being like the talking heads unofficially for what the internet was, the entire internet's take.
I agree.
Which is weird, because it's like one of those things where the internet finally unanimously agrees upon something, which is that they don't approve of Adam's wife getting piped down on camera.
Yeah, but again, I just realized
how fucking dumb that is.
That's literally like what it is, right? That's literally what it is.
Let me tune in and let me put my 2 cents in about another man letting his wife get fucked on camera. That speaks a lot. speaks volumes
about their own relationship. Yeah. It says a lot about us as a society that we care so much about somebody else's relationship.
Like
you know,
who gives a fuck?
And they seem to be fine with it, right?
Yeah, Adam's the only dude that's like, I'm all right.
Yo, Adam, you let it.
Isn't it crazy that you guessed it on here? Like before I had even really hinted at it.
You really did.
You guessed it.
You watched it?
I didn't watch it. I'll probably see some chunks of it.
So you just like was in another room listening to her moan and groan and shit?
No, she was at a hotel being filmed by a professional. And down by a professional, to be totally honest.
That was and getting dicked down.
You know what? You know he gave kudos where it was due. You know what
he was like, love?
Getting dicked down
by a professional. By a professional.
He's just, you know. He said, honestly, if he was in front of me,
yeah. Hey, good job.
Yo, bro, you dig the hell down.
You did your thing.
You know what I mean? You laid down some mean pipe.
Bro, you know what's funny? It's like I watched one of those interviews because I was curious to see, and they have him up on the hub, and one of the videos, there's a corn star there, and she gets piped down by another guy that they brought in.
Our talent is approaching.
Wow.
You ever seen one like that before?
That's like a BBC talent. I feel weird saying BBC to you. I'm not a company.
He's like a BBC talent.
A BBC talent. But that's a funny thing. Is like Adam comes in, the guy like with like the same kind of way that the fucking Jason Love just appears in the back of the video. He's like, all right, Selena, like we got you your talent here, and this just like 6'3" dude comes in out of nowhere. He's like. Sits in between them and just whips out his fucking uncovered, just like he has like a collared shirt, but it's unbuttoned. He's just like, ladies.
He's like, hey.
And then Adam's like, yeah, this is gonna be the guy that's gonna be fucking you today. I think that's also something that we could talk about. Is like he views porn not as something like normal guys. I think view it as like he views it as kind of like an art form, same as we view YouTube videos, podcasting stuff. Like he views it as a legitimate. He calls porn stars talent, which I'm not saying they don't have talent. Johnny Sins has every job that you could ever possibly imagine, and he's still actively in porn. He's been a military guy. He's been a doctor. Do you not know the joke that... I'm sorry, I felt like I should have got more of a reaction there, because Johnny Sins has like every single job, because he's played a different... Anyways, yeah, so he views them as like a...
I've heard that joke
so many times, you just numb to it?
Sorry.
Shout out to Johnny Sins, dude.
That's some real white boy.
I like that. I like the framing of like, oh, that's some weird white boy, rather than like, you are a degenerate piece of shit. Everybody keeps saying I'm going broke. The narratives are twisted up, so I don't mind you grilling me on this.
I think you had some pressure because she lets you do your thing.
For all these years.
Yeah, and it was like, it's one-sided.
I will say that the official video doesn't even drop for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, also to the point where it's like that is some way. I feel like that holds unfortunately a little bit of weight.
I mean, it's what I was saying before. Like it's kind of like I feel like it's crazy to be like, hey, I'm gonna go mess around with this porn star after we film this pod. You're not allowed to do that though. Like, you're not allowed to. I know this is like your business. And everything, and you do OnlyFans, and I knew that when I met you, but like, you're not allowed.
You're not allowed to. Well, also, she introduced him to all these porn stars, So it's like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's a completely fair trade, but hey, listen, if they're comfortable with it, then that's kind of, I don't want to say it's payback or payment. No, not payback. Payback sounds negative, but it's payment for like, all those. I mean, Wag really is having trouble grasping this. Like, that's one thing you can tell through about 2 minutes and 30 seconds of videos. Like, Wag is having a real tough time coming to terms with this. But one thing I think he gets right is that idea that's like, like Adam stepped out, sort of. He's had his turn with other women. Like, a lot of women wouldn't be okay with that. And Lena just did it kind of on her own, but in a more professional setting. I think we'd be having a different conversation if she snuck off with him and there weren't any cameras around.
To be fair though, from what I understand, she was very like in not this video, in another video, he said that even up until she left, like before she even walked out the door, she was telling him like, "Yo, if you don't want me to do it, I'm not gonna go."
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's got to be a level of trust. That was one thing I saw. It was like people were saying, "Oh yeah, she DM'd him and gave him her number without Adam knowing." But it's like, dude, if you think that Adam didn't know, that there was from what I've heard, there was a selection process. So, and I think he gets into it later in the video, but this is not one of those things where it's like she, just stepped out or is going to be like unfaithful now. I think it's, and maybe I sound like a cuck saying this, but
yeah, listen. I just want it to be put out there.
Also, personally, couldn't be me.
I would not put myself in a scenario where I would have to
watch your wife get piped.
I don't think I would do that. Like, again, before he got into a relationship with what's her name, Lena?
Lena, yeah.
Before he got into a relationship with Lena, she was already doing OnlyFans. She was doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he was okay with it, which is fine. Me personally, if I met somebody and they were doing OnlyFans, I might be very cool with that person. I might be a fantastic friend to me, but I don't know if I would continue along with a relationship with them because I don't personally agree with the whole OnlyFans aspect of.
I think there's a certain level that if they're getting piped down by other dudes on camera, I don't think I'd want to be a part of that. It's not
okay,
like
that's fair.
Maybe I guess you could say it's like a male fragility thing. I don't know. But like that's just not personally my preference. I don't think I'm the most jealous guy in the world. Like I can objectively say I've talked to women, just on like a very casual level, and we'll be talking about other dudes that they're also seeing on the side. Like we'd be like, oh yeah, went on a date, but it's like I don't. I know that I'm not going to get mad because that person is like we're not actually in a relationship. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not the jealous or the insecure type to say like, oh, if she's seeing other guys, then like maybe another guy's better than me. It's like, why even think about that? You're just gonna enjoy the person. But I'm also not the type to, if I'm gonna be in a relationship with that person, I don't want to see them getting piped down on camera just because like if I care about that person, I'm in a relationship with them at that point. It's not even a sexual thing. It's not even a self-confidence thing. It's like I just don't want to see someone that I share intimate experiences with doing those intimate things with other people.
Maybe my opinion would change if like she's doing the OnlyFans and it's just me, like, and we keep, because I know I'm not going out, I'm not sleeping out with other people.
Yeah,
I know I'm not doing.
But you want to pipe her down on camera so you guys can split the revenue. Get to the bag.
You get to the bag and get it.
Yes, sir.
I don't even think I would want to share that with people though. Like I think I would much rather have that as a more intimate thing between myself and my.
Keep that in the my eyes only section of Snapchat.
You know what I mean?
There's so much, and I think you said this at the beginning of the video. There's so much emphasis now being put on labeling, on people being put in certain lanes, this binary view of masculinity, which usually aligns, and we've talked about this on another podcast, which usually aligns with materialism, which usually aligns with being the most masculine alpha dude. You can't allow your wife to go and step out on other people. Like, I feel like we need to be done with that. I feel like it has to be less about what people expect you to be because you're a guy, and the type of guy that you expect yourself to be. So if Adam's fine with that, that might speak to a high level of emotional intelligence to where he can, because I don't also believe that he's probably not 100% or that he's 100% okay with this. But I think also him going through with that because that's what makes her happy, and he's being fair because he's had time with other corn stars. I think that's not a bad trait. That's saying like, hey, listen, like this is going to be a fair relationship. They just got married. That's mic drop, dude.
Honestly, I agree with that.
And honestly, so many fucking people are invested in this thing that's not even up to them.
And it's not even their relationship, bro. Like
it's not even their relationship. Like Wax different because Wax is co-host and like you kind of have to make it a little bit more like, oh shit, But I also saw someone's like, when's the countdown drop? Or like, when is it dropping? Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm not even gonna watch the video.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not gonna watch it. Are you?
I'm not watching it.
Okay.
I don't feel like you're not for real on that.
No, you know what it is? Because I said it halfway through saying it, I realized how much that makes me sound like I'm definitely watching it. That's why I started to laugh halfway through.
Bro, be for real.
I'm probably not going to watch it, dude. It's
be
not
for real. You're not going to look it up, like see if you can find a little bit on Reddit.
I know, like I got websites. I got like the OnlyFans leaks. You know what I mean? We recorded for, holy shit, 26 minutes. What?
How long? It felt like what, 40?
It felt like 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, so do we want to wrap up then? At this point, like,
I feel like we got a bunch right here.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of like numerous topics.
We do. We really shotgunned it out. We're like, let's do a shorter video before the podcast turns into a mini podcast. But yeah, no. So that's been our first kind of video like this. I think it's definitely something that's going to be
We're biting off of Alba and Preach.
Yeah, it's gonna be good though. I like this kind of format. We'll kind of come back, I guess. We'll try to get one out like once per week, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Same time we shoot the pod, or maybe earlier before
Yeah.
we shoot the pod. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So expect this to drop and then a pod as well because we're about to record that now. Without further ado, it's been Jake and Josh.
It's been Jake and Josh. Thanks for tuning in.
Rip Off City.